Hey, so happy New Year's. It is 2017. I hope 2017 will bring you great fortune, great happiness, and great health. So, what I want to share with you today are my goals for the next 18 months. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you instead of, usually I do this on a personal level, right? I just take care of it on my own. But the reason why I'm sharing it with you are three things. Number one is to keep myself accountable, right? I'm telling you this, so I put myself in a higher standard of making sure I accomplish my goals. And number two is to create a unique video series where I document my journey along the way, right? I share with people, I share with you my journey of where I am now into accomplishing the goals that I set out to achieve 18 months later. And I share this with you on a weekly basis. And lastly is to, as much as I can, help some people who need help along the way. Not as a guy who has all the answers, because I don't. I'm just a normal person that's trying to figure out life. But as a person that has goals, that has a clear vision of what I want to accomplish, and to help people, those who are seeking help along the way. That's what I want to accomplish. All right, so let me share with you 6 main goals that I have set for myself. So number one is great health and fitness. So like a lot of people, I want to be healthy and I want to be fit. So within this category, right, of healthy and fit, I want to create one of those transformation videos. I think that would be pretty cool, right? Transformation video from where I am right now to being, extremely shredded. So that's one of my personal goals that I have in terms of fitness and health. And within the next 18 months, right, I'm going to be trying out different health routines, different diets, and also different training regimens. So I'm also going to be keeping you up to date with that, sharing with you my progress. And the second goal that I have set for myself is to become a good person. And what I mean by that is in 2016, I felt like there was a gap, something missing within myself. And whenever I feel that way, I always look towards the basics, the foundational stuff of who I am. And I started to think back of how was I raised? Right? My parents, they teach me, how to interact with people, manners, and how to be a good person. And, when you go to school, you learn and you implement what you were taught at home to some degree, right? And you grow. But what I felt missing was how to think, like how to be a good person, right? And it's kind of hard for me to explain. So let me kind of give you an example, right? So I am currently at my friend's house, right? And within my friend's house, I have a little spot. I crash here on the weekends where I store food for myself, right? I don't want to eat my friend's food. I want to eat my food, and sometimes we'll share. So I have, within it Nutella. So I brought bread one day, and I was like, I'm excited to eat, bread with this Nutella. And I open the little cubby and I look inside, and my Nutella's missing, right? And the first thing I instantly thought was my friend must have ate it, because I remember, putting my Nutella in there, but it was missing. So I guess, maybe he ate it. So I asked him, and I said, hey man, did you happen to eat my Nutella? It's not a big deal. It's just Nutella. And he said, no, I didn't. And I looked for it and I couldn't find it, right? So I just concluded, or maybe somebody else who came to the house ate it. And a few days later, sure enough, I found it. It was misplaced, right? It was misplaced somewhere. And within that example, right, what I want to fix about myself is when my Nutella was missing, right, I instantly thought somebody must have ate it, right? Somebody must have done something with it, right? Because I placed it here, but it's not there anymore. What I want to fix, right? I believe that thought process is either, within us genetically, it's how we are, programmed, or it's taught. And I don't know if that's taught, but I want to change that. I want to, whenever I open it up and my Nutella is missing, I want to say, oh, maybe I misplaced it somewhere. Even though I remember putting it there, maybe it ended up somewhere else. Instead of, oh, somebody must have ate it. Right? So within that example, I hope I explained it best. I want to become a good person where I always see the positive in people instead of the negatives, instead of always judging people by how they look. Sometimes, I believe that can't be helped, but to always give them the benefit of the doubt, to train myself to not judge a book by its cover. All right, and the third goal that I have set for myself, it's an ambitious one, is to become E5, second class petty officer, by the end of 2017. So if everything goes according to plan, this is how it would play out. So March, I would take my E4 exam, third class petty officer. And if I pass, I put the crows and the chevron on sometime around May. And July, you have a yearly evaluation on your performance within the ship. Each ship is a little bit different. Each command is a little bit different, but for me, it falls on July. So if I get the top rating, which is early promote, EP, then I can take my E5 exam, second class petty officer, on September. And if I pass that, then I put my crow and 2 chevrons on sometime November. So that is the current ambitious plan. So number 4 is to buy a house. So my family had been renting back where I live in Pennsylvania for a very long time. And since my brother and we are more independent now, we believe it's the right time to purchase our first home. So because I'm in the military, you do get the VA loan and you get other miscellaneous benefits. So I'm going to be, figuring out this process, right, of buying a home when you're in the military. And hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have a home. So that's the big, number one American dream right there for me. And my 5th goal is to have my associate's degree by the end of fall semester of this year. I did have a lot of college credits before I joined the Navy, okay? And so I am 5 classes away. So that is the current plan. But if it has to bleed into spring semester of 2018, that's okay. I just don't want to overwhelm myself with all the busy work in the Navy. And, I don't want all my time being spent in school and the Navy. I do want to do some other stuff along the way, right? So that is my plan in terms of education. And number 6, lastly, I want to have 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. Not that 20,000 really means a big deal, like 20,000, it's big deal. Not that. What I want that number, 20,000, to be is a direct representation of my work of helping people. That's the main purpose of this channel, right? It's to help people. When I first originally made it, I made it so that I can answer people's Navy questions because, my recruiter did me wrong. And, I want people to make the most informed, well-educated decision possible, right? So, for example, when I first went to a recruiter, my recruiter didn't know I had college credits, right? And I went up to my recruiter, it was a chief, and I said to him, Chief, is it possible for me to have a 4-year degree within 4 years in the Navy? And he looked at me dead in the eye and he said, yes. But now that I'm in the Navy, in my honest opinion, within 4 years, the best, most achievable thing that you can get is an associate's degree. It's get an associate's and maybe a little bit more credits after associates, because if you're trying to balance, everything that the Navy has to do and also trying to balance out school, it's going to be extremely difficult. Okay, in my opinion, it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. So those are my 6 goals. I'm very excited to share this with you. And it seems like, it's just 6 things he just said, but I promise you there is much more to this than what I just said. I just gave you a brief outline of what I want to accomplish. There's a lot in between, a lot of fillers that you're going to find out in the next documentation video of what I'm actually doing on a day-to-day basis. So I'm excited to share that with you. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great New Year and a great day.